Chapter 14:32. Huang Pursuit. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Boom! A huge sudden spring burst out of the peaceful river surface. Compared to this sudden spring, Lord Huang Shi, who was flying in the air, resembled a tiny mosquito. Even before the sudden spring hit him, Lord Huang felt like it was getting faster and faster. That was not true, of course. The sudden spring actually became slower as it got higher and higher. The reason why Lord Huang felt that was because his own relative speed had fallen. This was the river of time. The eruption of sudden springs will cause everything around it to slow down. In that case, the target would find it harder to escape. Lord Huang was not fazed. At the crucial moment, bright light shone from his head. At the next instant, he was completely restored to normal condition as he retreated, causing the sudden spring to miss its target. Rumble! With another loud sound, the sudden spring crashed back into the river and created a huge wave. Lord Huang wiped the sweat off his forehead. This sudden spring has the power of a rank 8 killer move. Even I have to be careful. If I got hit, I would suffer great injuries. If I encounter a rank 9 level sudden spring, I would definitely be gravely injured. I might even die. Lord Huang felt pressured in his heart. Even though he was a rank 8 Gu immortal and had territorial advantage when fighting in the River of Time, he knew that Fang Yuan had the luck path methods, and even a rather comprehensive all living beings, luck true inheritance. Being at the sudden spring river segment, other than one's strength, one had to depend on their own luck. I am chasing after Fang Yuan now. This is not beneficial to him. According to the profundities of luck path, my journey will not be smooth. It will be filled with problems. Fang Yuan chose this route to trouble me. This is a good plan. However, Lord Huang frowned, feeling doubts. No matter how lucky Fang Yuan is, he can't avoid all the sudden springs, right? Even if rank 9 sudden springs are rare, those rank 7 sudden springs are countless, and there are also many rank 8 sudden springs. How did he pass them? Did he use reverse flow protection seal the entire time? If he was using reverse flow protection seal, this would be great news to Lord Huang Because this sudden spring river segment was very long, if Fang Yuan used his killer move the entire time, his immortal essence would be greatly expended. This would be helpful when Lord Huang fights him later. Lord Huang did not expect that Fang Yuan would enslave an immemorial year monkey to act as his shield. Even though Fang Yuan could control the upper extreme Heavenly Eagle, Heavenly Court attributed that to He Fan's true inheritance. Fang Yuan was controlling a rank 8 existence with rank 7 cultivation level. It was a shocking accomplishment. But the truth was 180 slaves, and years flow like water immortal Gu's flaw. Especially the latter, He Fan did not expose his own weakness. This secret was unknown to Heavenly Court. They could not deduce that Fang Yuan had a way to lure immemorial yearbeast to him. Because of such reasons, Heavenly Court did not manage to learn that Fang Yuan could control an immemorial yearbeast. After a few minutes, Lord Huang flew out of the sudden spring river segment. Fairy Ziwei's guidance was transmitted to him again. Lord Huang changed directions, raising his speed as he flew towards Fang Yuan. A moment later, his figure paused as he looked ahead uncertainly. Dark web spider. Lord Huang had a grim expression as he muttered this. In front of him, there was a huge spider with a pale white body. It was unmoving on a huge web. The spider was larger than the sudden spring earlier. It was like a mountain. Its 4 limbs were like ridges. Compared to the spider, Lord Huang was tiny. He was like an ant in front of an elephant. Larger than the dark web spider was the huge web it was on. This huge web was made of a crystal-like substance. Some threads were thin, while others were thick like tree trunks. The web was not flat. It was weaved into a forest-like cage. Countless spider threads stabbed into the water of the river of time like roots. No matter how the water flowed, these threads remained stationary. A vast number of spider threads weaved together into a huge crystal nest. Each of the connectors had many complex threads linking to different directions. Lord Huang heart sank. He did not dare to believe it. Fang Yuan and the rest managed to get past here to head to Red Lotus's true inheritance? He confirmed it again. Fairy Ziwei's directions were not wrong. This made him even more confident of his conjuncture now. Fang Yuan had designed this route to target him. Fang Yuan wants to use this dangerous place to force me to retreat? Lord Huang sure had a cold expression. He snorted before flying into the huge crystal nest. Each dark web spider was an immemorial desolate beast. They had their own territories in the river of time. In their territory, even immemorial desolate beasts would not dare to rampage. It was a predator at the top of the food chain. The dark web spider relies on its unimaginable great strength besides its huge body, as well as its sharp mouth in this crystal nest. Each crystal nest thread is extraordinary. Goo immortals of the past gave it a fanciful name, used until today, peaceful time thread. Any rank 7 or below existence would be in a state of frozen time if they touch the thread. They cannot move and would end up being eaten by the dark web spider, which moves slowly towards it. For someone like Lord Huangshi, one single thread of peaceful time thread cannot affect him, but with 100 of them together, even he would be in grave danger. And in the entire crystal nest, how many peaceful time threads were there? Simply uncountable. Lord Huangshi moved very, very slowly. He carefully moved past each of the threads that had weaved into a web. He had thought of detouring this dangerous place to pursue Fang Yuan. But this way he would need to travel a long route. Fang Yuan would gain a lot of time instead. And what if this Red Lotus true inheritance was inside the crystal nest to begin with? Thus, Lord Huangshi had to step into this dangerous place and pursue Fang Yuan. As long as I remain careful and avoid touching any peaceful time thread, I will be able to get through this safely, Lord Huangshi thought as a loud explosion occurred. There was incredible sound resembling the crashing of heaven and earth. The crystal web nest shook along with the loud sound waves. The dark web spider was alerted. Its 180 compound eyes stared at Lord Huangshi. Damn it! It must be Fang Yuan's trap! Lord Huangshi was furious, but he felt little shock. If he was Fang Yan, he would have set the same trap against his enemies. Since I am able to get here, I have my assurance. I am able to get past this dangerous area while the dark web spider is alerted. With a cold snort, Lord Huangshi started to use his immortal killer move on the crystal threads. These crystal threads were not easy to destroy, even though they were fragile, because any killer move would freeze it in time as long as they got closer to the threads. Of course, against rank 8 killer moves, the peaceful time threads had an upper limit in terms of defense. Lord Huangshi started to act, using his rank 8 killer moves to attack the crystal threads at an increasingly fast speed. He was a time path great expert. He had effective methods against the peaceful time threads. Furthermore, that dark web spider moved slowly. It could not catch up to Lord Huangshi. Lord Huangshi did not want to fight the dark web spider. He had a huge responsibility on him. But his path of retreat was not smooth. There were often immortal killer moves, sound waves, frost, and flames obstructing him. Lord Huangshi's speed was greatly obstructed. He was eventually caught up by the spider as they fought intensely. Bam, bam, bam! After an intense battle, Lord Huangshi broke free from the dark web spider and left its territory. But now he was in a more sorry state than before. Not only was he covered in dust, he even suffered minor injuries. This damn Fang Yuan, how many traps did he set? And these traps all activate at the perfect timing. There is deep planning in this. Lord Huangshi suffered a loss. He was filled with rage. He would not let Fang Yuan off. He flew while he treated his injuries. Not long after, he entered a weird river segment. What is going on? I can feel a strong sword path and blade path aura in this river segment. Lord Huangshi was surprised as suspicion flashed on his face. He slowed down and observed this river segment had permeating sword chi and blade light. Wait, don't tell me this is... Lord Huangshi frowned. I traveled upstream towards the past. In terms of distance, I probably went back to 100,000 years ago. I am at the late antiquity era. Late Antiquity era. Sword path, blade path. I know. Western Deserts, Shi Yuan. This person cultivated sword path, created sword abyss, and killed 3 rank 8 Gu immortals. There is another blade path demonic immortal. He is known as Dao Ju Lang. He had overwhelming demonic might. Rampaging in Western Desert, he managed to break the expulsion formation and shook the world. These two fought before. It was an intense fight that led to great destruction. Lord Huang sure used his investigative methods, and as expected, this segment of the river was affected by the battle between these 2 rank 8 great experts, causing this to become a Blade River segment. It was more dangerous to get past here compared to the Sudden Spring River segment, because it was possible that Dao Ju Lang's or Shi Yuan's immortal killer moves would suddenly appear and attack. When sudden springs occur, there is a process in their eruptions, but this Blade River segment did not have that. Fang Yuan and the rest actually came here? Are they trying to die? Lord Huang Shi gritted his teeth, entering. Since Fang Yuan and the rest could enter, as a rank 8 great expert, he could not back down. Fairy Ziwei guided him as Lord Huang Shi got closer to his target. Roar! The immemorial year monkey fought in turbulent waves. It was covered in injuries. Blood was flowing as the surrounding area was dyed red. On the immemorial year monkey, Bai Ningbing, Fairy Miao Yin, and the rest were defending themselves. I finally found you all. Lord Huang Shi's eyes shined brightly. He charged ahead without thinking.